My name's Josh.
Hi, Josh. Nice to meet you.
I'm just wondering if they've bothered to create new laws which allow people access to their loved ones' digital possessions
It depends
after
on
they
which,
die or something.
It depends on which state or country you're living in. Currently in the US, there are 5 states with laws regarding digital contents. And as you heard, Virginia now has a new law regarding access to minors' social networks. In Israel, currently there's no law regarding digital content. And I had 2 meetings with the Ministry of Justice, and I hope that we're going to change that. But at the moment, there isn't anything specific.
What about like a digital will or something like that?
In Israel, it's a problem because the law states that anything outside a will is illegal. And digital wills aren't legal in Israel. I don't know if you're aware of this, but wills in Israel are only legitimate if they're written on paper and signed by witnesses. You can't sign a will by digital signature, and you can't have a digital will. It doesn't work in Israel. There are many companies offering all kinds of solutions for this abroad, but they all at the moment say that we can't guarantee that this doesn't have any legal loopholes in it. There is again, I'm learning from past lectures. I'm going to be raising this now whenever I'm going to say I have a post about it in my blog. So I have a post about it in my blog. It's the legal aspect post, and it's specific about legal aspects, so you're welcome to read. Any more questions? I'm sitting down. You might as well.
You covered a lot of information.
I've got a question.
Yes, Dan.
Do you think it suits everybody to have these options in order to get to know the life of persons which maybe they didn't know them that well on the daily life?
Are you asking if everybody should have access to ancestors' digital contents?
Like several times you make quotes on Facebook and asking people to tell what they think about what's on their minds in this aspect. And you think at that moment, we all know a lot of people, and not everybody is connected. Like I've got friends which don't know their parents, and they bigger than 30.
Hi, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, and I have a Facebook page. Please like it. Digital Dust.
Thanks.
I recently held a survey, which was the first survey held in Israel, asking questions about our digital contents. And what we've learned from this survey is that there is not a single answer. Each person has, because people who've never thought about this before, once they're presented with questions, suddenly they have an opinion, and it's not the same as the next person. It's very personal and private, which is why I think we should be forced into thinking about this, because once we're thinking about it, we have an opinion, and we should be the ones deciding if we want to leave our legacy behind or not, and if not, then to whom. I have a friend that his mom passed away many years ago, and he's married to a widow that her husband was killed when the child was very young. And I had a conversation with them, and their answers really astounded me. I asked her, now it's your daughter's bat mitzvah. Would you have liked for your late husband to have left a video behind with instructions that it should be played in her bat mitzvah? And she said no. She said, I don't want her to live with this burden of having a dead father. To suddenly have the video of the dead father in the bat mitzvah would be difficult. And I was like, oh, I thought that you would like that. And I asked him, would you have liked your mother to leave a video behind to be played at your wedding? With her husband, it was a tragedy, but with his mother, she was ill and they knew she was dying. So would you have liked your mother to leave really, really personal. And I think no one can decide, for someone else. It has to be our choice. And even if that choice might be difficult for other people, like with that photographer who chose to burn his negatives, I'm sure that was very difficult for other people, but it was his choice. So I think that as long as we know what the deceased person wanted, it makes it easier for us to cope with it, whatever his choice might have been.
It's a lot to do with the awareness.
Yes, which is why it's one of the two reasons that the blog is up, to raise awareness that people are leaving digital legacies behind and they should manage it. Yes, please, what's your name?
Hi, Tammy.
Hey, David.
Hi. It looks like with the digital dust that we leave behind us, it makes very difficult for the living to let go of the dead. And sometimes you should let go. I mean, it doesn't mean to forget, but to let go. Because if we grab all those people around us, we can't go forward. And I have this friend whose his mother died. She had a very active Facebook profile. And after she died from cancer, they didn't close the account. And people still wrote on her page, and it was like she's still alive, and it was morbid. I mean, let her go. It took them months to close the account.
Again, this is something very personal. For instance, my brother's Facebook profile is still active. We haven't memorialized it, and I'm really hoping no one is going to report to Facebook that he's dead and turn it into a memorial profile, but if they do, there's nothing I can do about that. I like it. I like, seeing his friends and seeing that, sometimes they pose. And I pay a price for it because it's being offered to me as a guest to invite to events, and it's a price that you pay. And I understand the people that want to leave the Facebook profile as is, just as I understand the people that want to turn into a memorial profile. So again, it's really very...
Maybe Facebook should make a new profile, like a memorial one for a deceased.
Yeah, Facebook's policy is very problematic. I have several posts about it. One post is about how we notify of a death in the digital era, because we now notify people of death through Facebook sometimes. And there's two posts about this, and there's another post specifically about Facebook. It's called Death and Facebook and Death on Facebook. So far I only had time to put on the first part, I will put on the second part of ours. And Facebook makes us deal with death very often on birthdays, because you can see by the birthday greetings if the person greeting the deceased know that the deceased or not. And there's a lot to deal with Facebook here. And we're already surrounded by many dead profiles because 3 Facebook users die every minute. And soon we're going to be surrounded by more dead profiles than live ones. And we think there's been talk that maybe there should be like a status, of deceased, so you can see that, when someone is deceased. And, but currently Facebook's policy is very controversial, and it's not just me saying it; it's the entire international community of digital death day which is saying that it's very controversial because they lock you out of their account, for instance, once you get memorialized. It's problematic, but yes, it's a good question. It's like with the QR barcodes. Do we need to hang on to people, to cling to them in this way, or should we allow them to?
Exactly, because in Black Mirror you talked only about the first part, but the more horrifying is the second part, where they created like an avatar, a real avatar. And at the end of the movie, she realizes that she can't hold this memory. She needs to let him go. And she was stuck with this avatar. And it was...
Yeah, it's a strong chapters. Yeah, I couldn't watch it. I thought about 2 minutes after it began, because I knew that I was going to watch someone who's going to get killed on the road, which is how my brother was killed. So I stopped watching. No, I can't watch it for now. Maybe one day, but for now I'm not watching it. I just read the...
I think it's important for you because it will make you rethink about what you're doing. I mean, it's good to rethink in a good way. It's another
My
perspective.
boyfriend watched it and he said, don't. So I'm gonna go with his judgment. Sometimes it gets pretty sensitive, so. But thank you. And I did watch an excerpt. I can never pronounce that word really. Excerpt. Excerpt from that point, and I saw her facing the avatar, and she said, "You look like him on a good day." And I said, "Yes, because the pictures we post on Facebook are our good pictures." So they created an avatar based on his good pictures, and he was looking even more gorgeous and in real life in a way, so tepid. So yeah, so I know it's a good question. Yeah, I have several questions ready for you. Yes, you want to ask a question? What's your name, please?
My name is Eve.
Eve, hi.
The 3D Holocaust survivor
Hologram.
avatars and also the voice library that you mentioned, these things are in use already for educational purposes?
If they are the Holocaust survivor, yes, absolutely. It's a new project, and they've already filmed several Holocaust survivors, and there's most of anything went wrong, specifically about the Holocaust survivors, with several links from it to the center of the university. It's a collaboration between the Shoah Institute, and I don't remember the exact names, but you can find it. And yes, you can have a conversation with the hologram. And the voice library, absolutely, it's active, and again, I have a question about it. There's my blog is divided into before death and after death sections. So in the before death section, you have three options. One is to leave messages behind. There are several websites offering services to leave messages which will be sent to your loved ones after your death. Another one is to leave instructions behind of what would you like to happen after your death. And the third one is managing your digital legacy, and Remembered Voices is in one of them.
How does this service know that you're passed away already?
Hi, what's your name?
I'm sorry, no, she asked me and I was like, yeah, she's right. I'm Shiri.
Hi, Shira. Thank you. Each company has their own unique way of verifying that you're dead. Most of them ask you to choose 3 people, and only if the 3 people notify that you are dead, then like the switch is turned, and they realize that you're dead, and they're going on with your instructions. Other websites like the Death Switch, which is rather famous, it sends you emails on a regular basis, and you reply to it. If you stop replying, they realize that something is wrong, and they keep sending it for a short while, or to an alternate email that you provided in case something was wrong with this account. And if you still don't reply, then they realize that you're dead, and they send out the instructions that you left behind. Other websites have this an encrypted puzzle that each member should hold a piece of the puzzle, and it's like each company finds out their own solution, and some of them offer solutions which are for free, and some you have to pay to join, and each one is trying to come up with an original solution of how to safely know that you're dead, and it's not just your friend who's no longer your friend trying to hack into your account and learn all your passwords. Any more questions? Okay, so thank you very much for coming today, and please like the Facebook page and more.